Survival is usually a solo effort, but this experiment requires surviving 30 days chained to a total stranger. The price for enduring this month-long loss of autonomy? $250,000. This setup hides a brutal game mechanic. While the prize is meant to be split, the stranger holds a secret option to steal the entire pool. If they take it, they walk away with everything, leaving the original contestant with zero. Allison faces a revolving door of suspects. Over the course of the challenge, she will be handcuffed to 5 different strangers, all of whom are financially incentivized to lie about their final intentions. Introducing a life-changing financial reward turns every handshake and shared meal into a psychological exercise. When $250,000 is on the line, normal human interaction becomes a study in potential deception. When the stakes reach $250,000, the human brain struggles to maintain a perfect facade. True intentions have a way of surfacing despite our best efforts to hide them. This phenomenon is known in behavioral psychology as leakage. While the conscious mind, represented here by the filter near the mouth, attempts to control the narrative, the subconscious leaks erratic data points through the rest of the body. These leaks generally fall into 3 distinct buckets: microexpressions, verbal hesitations, and behavioral overcompensations. Unmasking a backstabber requires prioritizing these subconscious signals over the verbal connises people make to secure their prize. 2 suspects, Bryce the biker and Bree the basketball player, adopted a strategy of intense immediate friendship. They attempted to bypass the natural period of getting to know someone by forcing high-energy bonding. Bryce focused on being performatively trustworthy. This constant effort to appear agreeable triggered Allison's suspicions immediately because his persona felt too polished for the circumstances. Bree took this overcompensation to the extreme. She presented physical evidence of her character by showing Allison a promise tattoo on her wrist, explicitly framing it as a guarantee of her loyalty. This is the psychological tell of overselling. Deceptive individuals often mask internal guilt by overloading their target with unearned assurances and dramatic displays of honesty. In high-stakes environments, these manufactured displays of loyalty often serve as the strongest indicators of a planned betrayal. Skylar, the cheerleader, took a different approach, building a genuinely relaxed friendship. The two shared jokes and bonded over snacks, causing the tension of the experiment to fade into the background. That comfort eventually caused a lapse in Skylar's defenses. During a celebration, she accidentally cheered about winning the full $250,000 instead of the $125,000 split she had promised to take. This was a classic Freudian slip. It occurs when a momentary drop in cognitive control allows a suppressed desire to verbalize, bypassing the brain's internal editors. When psychological defenses relax during bonding, the subconscious often reveals a person's true priorities without them even realizing they've spoken. Juan provided a baseline for what genuine honesty looks like. He avoided grandiose promises, calmly explaining that his goal was simply to provide for his family, and noting his history of never stealing. Unlike the others, Juan's behavior lacked a sales pitch. He didn't try to manufacture trust or present evidence of his goodness. He simply existed within the challenge. Authentic honesty is usually a baseline state. Because it requires no validation, it is delivered as a simple, unadorned fact. Jason the cowboy arrived during the most chaotic phase of the experiment, entering a workspace already under immense environmental stress. The turning point came when Allison asked him point-blank if he intended to split the money. Jason responded with verbal stuttering and a highly conditional phrase, "As of right now, I would." This reaction illustrates the concept of cognitive load. As this flowchart shows, retrieving a truthful memory is a direct process. Constructing a fabricated lie is a tangled, looping pathway that requires the brain to verify and deliver a false narrative simultaneously. Jason's stutter was the physical manifestation of his brain stalling as it became overwhelmed by the cognitive load required to maintain his deception. A verbal hesitation during a direct, high-stakes confrontation signifies neurological calculation rather than simple confusion. On day 25, the analysis becomes a decision. All 5 strangers stand in a lineup, their fates and Allison's money hanging on her next move. The mechanics are simple. Whoever Allison eliminates first is guaranteed $10,000, but they lose any chance to steal the $250,000. Allison had to weigh the emotional stories she was told against the physical cues she witnessed over the previous weeks. She ultimately trusted the data. Recalling his verbal friction and the conditional nature of his promise, she eliminated Jason first. When the pressure is absolute, human instinct proves most effective when it prioritizes observed behavior over rehearsed narratives. Once the chain was cut, the truth came out. The host revealed the secret choice Jason made before the elimination ceremony. Jason had, in fact, locked in his decision to steal the entire prize pool, confirming that his earlier cognitive stutter was the direct physical byproduct of that choice. Whether in a social experiment or a high-stakes negotiation, words can be rehearsed to perfection. However, the subconscious always leaks the truth to those who know how to watch for it.